Good evening, good evening, good evening, Atlantic City. Welcome, everybody. Longport, Margate, Ventnor, Pleasantville, Atlantic City, Brigantine. Welcome to the Friday edition of the Jimmy Whitehead Power Hour podcast. This is a podcast I've started, I guess, a couple of months ago. I'm trying to still learn how to perfect the podcast technology, but I started this a couple of months ago to be a platform for empowerment, for economic empowerment, and unique collaborations, public-private partnerships, nonprofit initiatives, etc. And we are making a lot of progress, making more progress with the projects than I am with the podcast. I still have some things to learn, but I'm doing like my instructor told me to keep playing around with it until I figure it out better. And by the time the summertime gets here, I'll have it better perfected. But welcome. Good evening. I want to go over a couple of things which I'm very focused on, those who have been following what I'm doing, and that is our Atlantic Coastal Tourism District Opportunity Zone project. This is a project that we've been focused on for some years. When it first came out in 2017, started focusing on it back then. Rejuvenated the idea of the Opportunity Zone collaboration between all 6 of our Atlantic coastal sister cities. After a couple of discussions with Mayor Small and his particular focus on unifying and working together, some of the brilliant minds of the others said, why don't we take our nonprofit, U.S. Heart, and form a collaboration between the 6 sister cities. And we brought that together to focus on the Opportunity Zone. So let me start off by giving some more definition of what the Opportunity Zone is. And never mind my friend hanging over my head. That's the Cyber Guardian logo coming in because I'm on my virtual screen right now. So, but it's all part of the process. So the opportunity zones, the opportunity zone is one opportunity zone in Atlantic City. And that opportunity zone begins like on Atlantic Avenue over to the ocean from Albany, where Knife and Fork is, the restaurant, all the way down past New Hampshire Avenue. So all that territory, all that property right there is earmarked as an opportunity zone. And I'll read some of these definitions to you. White House Opportunity Zones refers to the Opportunity Zone OZ initiative established by the 2017 Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, TCJ, to spur investment in low-income communities through tax incentives. Coordinated by the White House Opportunity and Revitalization Council, this is previous, 2017, chaired by HUD Secretary Ben Carson to guide federal agencies and share best practices aiming to attract private capital for development and revitalization utilizing qualified opportunity zone funds. So on the front end, this is an initiative that was created. It was made into a federal law back in 2017 to earmark or outline certain areas that need economic growth. And in these areas, an investor can invest funds in these areas without having to pay taxes on his investment or her investment over a period of 10 years. Key aspects: tax incentives. Investors can defer and potentially reduce capital gains taxes by reinvesting profits into qualified opportunity funds, which invest at least 90% of their capital in designated opportunity zones. White House Council, created by executive order, this council coordinates federal resources and develops strategies to support opportunity zone investments, producing reports with best practices. Goal: to encourage long-term investment in economically distressed urban and rural areas, fostering job creation, business growth, and community development. Implementation: the Treasury Department and IRS provided final regulations while agencies like Economic Development Administration, EDA, prioritize opportunity zone projects. Current status: the initiative is a significant economic development tool, and ongoing discussions about its extension and renewal as TCJA provisions expire. Federal agencies continue to support the program through funding, resources, and information sharing via platforms like HUD, OZ website. In essence, the White House Opportunity Zone refers to the federal government's focus effort led by the executive branch's council to leverage Opportunity Zone tax program for broad community revitalization. Opportunity zones. In December 2017, legislation authored by U.S. Senators Cory A. Booker, Democrat, New Jersey, and Tim Scott, Republican, South Carolina, was passed into law after being incorporated into the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act. The Opportunity Zone program is designed to spur economic development and job creation in designated opportunity zones. Opportunity zones are low-income census tracts nominated by governors and certified by the U.S. Department of Treasury, allowing investors to direct capital into new projects and enterprises in exchange for certain federal capital gains tax advantages. Governor Phil Murphy worked directly with U.S. Senator Cory Booker's office, convened meetings and roundtables with mayors throughout the state to receive feedback and input. and met with New Jersey congressional delegation to ensure a fair and transparent selection process. New Jersey Opportunity Zones are located in 75 municipalities, representing every county. The Opportunity Zones initiative will be housed at the Department of Community Affairs. Now, I wanted to look at where the Opportunity Zones were in Atlantic County. And basically, there's an Opportunity Zone in Egg Harbor City. There's an Opportunity Zone in Summer Point. There's an Opportunity Zone in Pleasantville. There's an Opportunity Zone in Egg Harbor Township. And there's an Opportunity Zone in Atlantic City. So the other sister cities, Longport, Margate, Ventnor, and Brigantine, they don't have Opportunity Zones. So we want to bring everybody together and try to figure out how we can use Opportunity Zones in Atlantic City, in the tourism district, to attract new investment, number one, and take that new investment and create new jobs for like cybersecurity jobs and data jobs, the kind of jobs that we're training people right now to prepare them for. This is going to help us get in front of the curve in terms of economic development and innovative technological entrepreneurship, which Mayor Small has been promoting and leading and creating platforms to promote to support. So at the end of the day, we bring together some good folks who are all have the same patriotic mission to make our communities better. And we brainstorm on how to leverage our opportunity zone to create some new non-casino economic development and jobs. Also, you can see from the stuff that I've been reading already, it's a bipartisan effort. It takes bipartisanship to be able to make something work well. You know, we have to be unified. We have some marvelous partners that I don't want to let the cat out the bag. What we'll be able to reveal after the 24th of January will be a lot more details. We have a couple of very important activities on that date. And the one that we're most excited about, well, we're excited about both of them, but we're very excited about our second cohort of RX5 Cyber Guardians graduating. And the uniqueness of this cohort of graduates, this has been a pure cybersecurity workforce training program. I just have to throw this in here because after the 24th, I'll be more revealing about a lot of the discussions going on that day. But I like to get it done first. And then even after you get it done, you don't need to talk about it so much. But back to the opportunity zones, because as we expand our cybersecurity workforce training program, our goal is to expand inside the opportunity zone. We want to do what we say, and we want to be able to show by example how these good deeds can be developed in an opportunity zone. So, like I said, Governor Phil Murphy had worked with Senator Cory Booker's office and Tim Scott from South Carolina, and they put together the laws that created what we now know as opportunity zones. Opportunity funds. Opportunity funds are private sector investment vehicles that invest at least 90% of their capital in an opportunity zone. Opportunity funds provide investors the chance to put the capital to work, rebuilding the nation's low-income rural and urban communities. And this is important because right now, Atlantic City and the Atlantic coastal cities will all benefit from economic growth that happens in New Jersey's golden goose, or the goose that lays the golden egg. We know that Atlantic City is strategically and economically the most important city in the state of New Jersey. We have a mayor that has been doing some incredible things, transforming the city in terms of from building new roads to building affordable housing to having workforce training programs that are preparing the next era of workforce for Atlantic City. We have some other mayors who are extraordinarily brilliant individuals who also want to collaborate and support doing some good things for the sister cities working together. And this opportunity zone affords us a wonderful platform to come together, unite, and work together for the good of all the communities. Investment incentives. A temporary tax deferral for capital gains reinvested in the Opportunity Fund. The deferred gain must be recognized on the earlier of the date on which the Opportunity Zone investment is sold, or December 31st, 2026. A step up in basis for capital gains reinvested in an Opportunity Fund. The basis of the original investment is increased by 10% if the investment in the Opportunity Zone Fund is held by the taxpayer for at least 5 years, and by additional 5% if held for at least 7 years, excluding up to 15% of the original gain from taxation. A permanent exclusion from taxable income and capital gains from the sale or exchange of an investment in a qualified Opportunity Zone Fund if the investment is held for at least 10 years. Note, the exclusion applies to gains occurred from an investment in an Opportunity Fund, not the original gain. See, this is all about a piece of property, again, from Atlantic Avenue to the ocean. That includes the boardwalk, all that in between Atlantic Avenue and the ocean, and from Knife and Fork Restaurant on Albany all the way down past New Hampshire Avenue. All of that property in there is an opportunity zone. And I saw something. The distinguished Secretary of HUD visited an opportunity zone in Michigan, I believe it was. And in this opportunity zone, some investors, I guess, they've invested $1.4 billion in the opportunity zone in Michigan. Now just imagine the transformative economic development that would happen in Atlantic City in our opportunity zone when investors come and invest $1.4 billion in oceanfront opportunity zone development. This is oceanfront property. This is the one thing God is not making any more of. And he particularly is not making any more opportunity zones in oceanfront property. So that's the jewel. That's the diamond. That's the rough diamond of Atlantic City coastal partnerships. The rough diamond is the ocean, the beach, the boardwalk, the casino hotels, etc., etc. The people of Atlantic City are marvelous individuals, and we want to bring new economic development here so that the people of Atlantic City can have new jobs, well-paying, rewarding jobs, have new home ownership for them and their children, and just make Atlantic City and the Atlantic coastal communities thrive off of non-casino economic development. And whatever is good for the Atlantic coastal cities will be good for the casinos. So it's a mutually beneficial opportunity to unify, collaborate, form public-private partnerships, be inclusive of local small business participation. We need to make sure that whatever goes on here, there's always a component of opportunity for local small business participation. We have to create wealth at the local level first. That's the family's first priority, creating local economic development and making the Atlantic coastal communities better together. So Atlantic City Opportunity Zones job stem from federal incentives for long-term investment in designated low-income areas, spurring development in sectors like affordable housing, real estate, and services. So look for roles in community health, city government, and various local businesses seeking growth, often found via local job boards like Indeed for roles in outreach support, community navigation tied to program goals of local economic growth. How opportunity zones create jobs in Atlantic City, investment incentives. The federal program offers tax breaks for investors putting capital into designated zones, encouraging new businesses and developments. Focused area. Investments often target real estate, mixed-use projects, and community infrastructure. Excuse me, a little sip of water. God's medicine. Okay, jobs in, okay, let me start that sentence again. Local government and nonprofits look for community-focused roles with organizations like the Atlantic County Utilities Authority, ACUA, engineering, IT, admin, or groups like OUNCE, community outreach, benefit specialists, community and social services, jobs and health support, housing assistance, and outreach like those in premier behavior support programs, WIC, Common, general job boards, search on Indeed for Atlantic City Opportunity Zones, community navigator, outreach worker, or roles within new development. Types of jobs to expect: community outreach and engagement, benefits and service coordination, administrative and support roles, healthcare and social services, new construction and development roles. Key takeaway: while the program is investment focused, the resulting development in Atlantic City creates diverse local employment opportunities, particularly in communities facing in support roles. So check local sites and city resources for opportunities on jobs. I'm going to conclude with this final definition, a little background, because what I want to do with the opportunity zone is the same thing we did with cybersecurity. It took us 10 years to get our RX5 cyber security program up and running. And thanks to the incredible support of Congressman Jeff Van Drew. Congressman Jeff Van Drew sponsored the program. Currently, first, Mayor Marty Small had to approve our program with HUD when Secretary Ben Carson was there. Then Congressman Jeff Van Drew sponsored our program with a grant. Then we had Kaleem Shabazz and Maria Laka pass a resolution in the City Council to support our Cyber Guardians Workforce Training Program. Then most recently, the distinguished Commissioner Michael Ruffew, he sponsored a proclamation in support of our Atlantic County Tourism District Opportunity Zone, being a platform where we can continue to grow our cybersecurity workforce training endeavors and others. So the Opportunity Zone program was enacted as part of the 2017 Federal Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, and is designed to drive long-term capital investment into low-income rural and urban communities. The federal program provides opportunities for private investors to support investments in distressed communities through a participation in qualified opportunity funds. Businesses may defer paying tax on capital gains by reinvesting them into opportunity funds from which investments are made in properties or businesses in an opportunity zone. So, there's two separate pieces here. There's the opportunity zone, which is the geographical location, and then there's the opportunity zone fund, which is a fund that you have to do a lot of paperwork to create a fund. To use though, an investor invests in that fund. That fund invests in the opportunity zone. Everybody's happy because the investor is making money off of his investment while doesn't have to pay taxes on his investment for 10 years. The investment is creating new jobs for local residents and creating new opportunities for local small businesses. And at the end of the day, everybody is making money. And that's what it's all about. It's all about red, white, and blue capitalism working together to make money. Some people are going to get wealthy in the process, and there's nothing wrong with wealth. Wealth is what makes our nation's economy healthy. So, 8 Atlantic County census tracts are included in the program and are located within 5 municipalities: Atlantic City, Egg Harbor City, Egg Harbor Township, Pleasantville, and Summers Point. I told you that earlier. The ECEA worked with Governor Murphy's administration to expand the inclusion of areas in Atlantic County that support regional economic strategy. One of the tracts is located within the aviation district that surrounds the Atlantic City Airport and includes the Federal Aviation Administration's William J. Hughes Technical Center, as well as the nation's Aviation Research and Technology Park. So you see, the same way that the Opportunity Zone attracted investment and development into the Atlantic City Airport and the Federal Aviation Administration's Technical Center, is the same principle we're going to apply to our joint effort in the Atlantic Coastal Opportunity Zone to attract investment into cybersecurity and data-driven entrepreneurship, artificial intelligence development, etc. And we're going to do this collectively with distinction, a lot of integrity, and complete transparency. So please stay tuned. We're getting ready to rock it. Before I came on, I posted the record by one of my favorite bands from the past, Rare Earth. The record is entitled Get Ready by Rare Earth, because I want everybody to get ready for some wonderful information that we're going to share after the 24th and how we're going to work together to make the Atlantic coastal cities bigger, better, and greater together. This is Jimmy Whitehead coming to you from the weekly Jimmy Whitehead Power Hour podcast. Wishing everybody a very blessed weekend. Thank you very much.